So I am working on fleshing out this lore, world building, all of that. And you don't want to do too much or focus so much on that only when you are writing. But for me, because I know that I am going to set a lot of stories in this city, there's some things that has to be worked out. I will admit I went on a tangent looking over some information that is relevant and I will be using, but I did not expect this. This was like I have an outline, and this was like one of them plotting or pantsing ideas that popped up. And so I solidified some things that I hadn't even considered before. So with this city, it's a midwestern city, and let me be very clear, some of this could change, and the only thing that's canon is what is published. It's not what you write, it's what's published. So right now it is a midwestern city, and I'm fleshing it out. The city, the neighborhoods, the enterprises, the industries that are there, some of like the holidays and celebrations and stuff. And the reason being is that I do have three stories in particular that are like, oh, these are going to do well set in this world. And they're three very different stories, but they will all share the backdrop of this city. And so there are certain things that just have to be fleshed out. And even if it isn't completely like the year it was founded, the type of brick that makes up the building, like all of that is fine. That'll come in time. But I just want to flesh out as much as I possibly can that will assist with the story. And so that's what I've done. And I'm doing that all the while kind of brain dumping and starting to get those beginning stages of a outline. And I'm not beholden to the outline. I've decided to just do whatever the hell I want to do. One thing about myself that I realize is that I've been taking like writing advice, which is perfectly fine, and I have been putting a lot of energy into what other people are stating is supposed to be. And there are rules. You have to know the rules to break them. So that's not something that's lost on me, but I do know that I've done this time and time again. I've done this before. I'm not new to this. And so instead of being so worried about the myriad of different advice that's out there, I'm just gonna do what I've always done. But to that point, I do need to have this city fleshed out enough that once I put pen to paper and I lay my story on top of this city, I can then move people around where they need to be. I can stay away from certain neighborhoods. I can stay in certain areas. I just want to know the layout of the land. So when I do reference things, it'll be consistent in every book. That's really the biggest thing. And I'm not falling into this trap of like overdoing the world building. That's not it. I'm literally getting stuff that I need, and I'm also getting this story together. So that's that. Now the story itself, I'm happy with. So one is essentially already outlined completely, kind of, sort of, kind of not. So those books have been plotted, and of course things could change, but for the most part I'm like 95% plotted, where everything, at least the events of the story, are down, and the key players, the names, the industries, and all of that. The other story, so that one that I just referenced is more of a kind of political story, political thriller, maybe political. The other is very beginning stages, really developing the voice, the story, what's going to like happen. Of course, that story and plot and all that, but it's in the beginning stage. And then this one that I'm working on actively right now, where I had a little kind of quick aside, is probably somewhere in the middle, but getting closer to being fully fleshed out and done. Though I said I'm not going to really worry about like a bunch of different writing advice, I do want to do my usual finish the brain dump, do a rough outline that gets the timeline of events, and then start plugging in different things that should happen that I feel like is necessary, and the ending. With these, I'm trying to not that I don't do this with any of my other books, but write with that ending in mind. Like really truly sit with this once I've decided everything which should go where and whatever, and find out the actual definitive ending, and then plug in whatever is need be. So I'm feeling really good about this, and I'll reveal more as time goes on. But as of right now, I'm in a good space. I'm hoping to start writing like soon. I don't want to give the timeline out on here just yet, because even though it's kind of sort of ambitious, it's something that I think is doable considering some changes that I've recently made in my life for this very thing. But we'll see. So what would this be called? This is the fictional city project. I don't know. I'll come up with something. But this is the project that deals with the new. So all right. It's 4 a.m. and I've been up, and I'm not tired. Truly I'm not, but I do need to get to bed. I have some plans tomorrow, early plans too, I didn't realize. But anywho, I've been up, so I'm working on this project. And the last video, I believe I mentioned how I needed to flesh out the city, which I still have some pockets that need to be explored. But the thing that's the good thing, oh Lord, I must be tired. I'm sorry. I thought I wasn't. But the thing that is I'm grateful for is that I did that work, because even though the story that I'm currently writing or outlining and kind of sort of writing pieces to, even though it's not 100% contingent upon the city, the knowledge that I have about the city is allowing me to tell the story, to get the story out much easier, much faster, much quicker. There are certain neighborhoods and certain buildings and certain organizations and affiliations that have helped to like flesh out this story and also add to like the world building, the lore, and everything affiliated with this city. And I am so happy about this. Like, so I've been up since maybe 5:30 yesterday morning, so I'm coming up on 24 hours of just being up. But I'm so excited and I want to keep going, but I quite literally said, okay, if you can make it to 4 o'clock, you have to stop, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. So I think I'm like maybe 10 minutes shy of 4 o'clock, but I'm like, you know what, just stop here. I heard that like if you when you're writing, if you like stop when you're excited or when you're, you know, happy or whatever the hell it is, that once you sit back down, it won't be that hard to pick right back up. So that's wasn't the intended effect, but I realized after I stopped writing that I remember that was some writing advice. But all that being said, I'm going to lay my butt down. I'll give another update maybe tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can wake up and actually start working on this again as soon as I wake up, before my little event tomorrow morning or this morning. But this is coming right along, and I'm so freaking happy.